Have you ever found yourself running from the consequences of your own bad decisions? It's isolating, leaving you alone with the mess you've made. This is exactly where we find Jacob in Genesis 28. He isn't a heroic patriarch in this moment. He is a fugitive, fleeing the fallout of a massive deception he leveled against his own father and brother. Exhausted and exposed in the wilderness, he stops for the night because the sun has set. He is at a total low point, forced to sleep on the hard dirt of the open desert. In our most broken seasons, we usually assume God is furthest away from us. Jacob likely shared that assumption as he lay down in the dark. Look at this canyon floor. It's an ordinary, harsh, and completely unnamed stretch of wilderness. With no other options, Jacob takes one of these rough stones to use as a pillow for the night. The biblical text notes that Jacob lighted upon this place, using the Hebrew term pagah. While the arrival appeared random to Jacob, the word pagah suggests something deeper. In the logic of the text, this was a scheduled divine appointment rather than a chance physical arrival. Even when you are actively running away, God's providence can place you exactly where he intends to meet you. While he sleeps, Jacob has a vision. He sees this massive structure connecting earth directly to the heavens. We often call this a ladder, but the Hebrew word sulam describes a permanent, substantial staircase built with heavy stone blocks. It's a solid, enduring bridge. On this structure, angels ascend and descend. It's a picture of continuous communication between the divine and human worlds. But look at the top. God himself stands above the structure in sovereign oversight, rather than waiting at a distance for Jacob to arrive. The vision shows a top-down relationship. God doesn't demand that Jacob climb up to him. Instead, God reaches down with promises of blessing to a man who has done nothing to earn them. This is the foundation of biblical grace. God takes the initiative to build the bridge to us, meeting us where we are. This vision was more than a dream. It was a blueprint pointing to a future person who would bridge this gap permanently. In the Gospel of John, Jesus directly identifies himself as this structure, telling his disciples that they will see heaven opened and angels ascending and descending on the Son of Man. As this diagram illustrates, Christ is the sole mediator. He is the only bridge that successfully connects the divine and human. It is significant that Jacob receives these covenant promises while he is still a fugitive, still carrying the guilt of his deception. God doesn't wait for Jacob to reform himself before establishing the connection. This pattern is fulfilled in Jesus. He establishes the connection first, reaching down to the broken before they have a chance to prove their worthiness. Jacob wakes from the dream with a sudden, emphatic realization that he is now standing on holy ground. He confesses, "Surely the Lord is in this place, and I did not know it." He was blind to God's presence because he was focused on his own discomfort. He takes the stone he used as a pillow, the very object of his discomfort, and sets it up as a memorial pillar, pouring oil over it to mark the encounter. He renames the site. It was once called Luz, an ordinary name meaning almond tree. He renames it Bethel, the house of God. The landscape remained unchanged, but Jacob's memory of it had been completely reframed. What was once a place of exhaustion and fear was now the threshold of the divine. Real encounters with God reshape our priorities. Jacob immediately vows to dedicate his resources to God, marking a shift in his stewardship and devotion. You might find yourself in an ordinary or difficult location today, perhaps an office, a commute, or a period of personal failure. You do not need to be in a perfect season of life to be pursued by God. God's pursuing love meets us in our brokenness, transforming our everyday places of exile into the very gates of heaven.